Alrighty guys, it is Tuesday morning. Some clouds in the sky. I am getting ready to go out and do a few yards, knock them out. Got about 5 or 6 hours worth of mowing to do, so it should be good. I've got 23 hours on this zero turn now. You guys know that I bought this thing brand new in May, and I put some time on it. You know, it got some good seat time on it. I'm going to spend this time to go over, what I think of the mower, and most importantly, because I know a lot of you guys are interested, should you buy the Michelin TWs? I mean, that is the title of this video, the big title of this video. So I'll go ahead and jump right into that, and then if you guys want to stick around for the rest of the review on the mower, knock yourself out. So the Michelin TWs, they're an expensive option. They're a very expensive option. And some of you guys that are watching this may be figuring, is the ride really that much better? Or are they is the only positive side of them that you don't get any flat tires? Well, I would just simply say this. The ride with the Michelin TWs is much better than pneumatic tires. You guys can see how the tangs down here, and they're a little dirty because, this is a working mower. But these little spokes, almost how they crush, and they have such a good contact with the ground. I've noticed that downhill traction is better. I don't slide around quite as much. You can still slide on these wheels. You still damage the turf because these lugs are pretty deep and the tire is so wide and flat. They do have a good amount of turf damage, so you're not going to get away from that. But what I've been telling people that have asked me about this is that, I've got hard rubber tires or semi-pneumatic tires in the front, so you don't put air in those, and then I don't have the Michelin TWs, so you don't put air in those. The Z920M is the smallest mower that Deere makes that you're able to get the Tweels on, as well as the semi-pneumatic front casters. The 915E does not offer these, from what I understand. So that's why I got one reason why I got the 920M. But it's really nice that you don't have to worry about putting air in them. If you see a piece of rebar sticking out of the ground or whatever, or a nail, you don't have to worry about it too much other than your deck. Obviously, you don't want to hit a piece of rebar with your deck. But, yes, absolutely you should buy the Michelin TWs. If you're running a big fleet, it does get expensive. But if you're just buying 1-2 mowers for the ease of use, they're incredible. The ride is incredible. It doesn't beat you up nearly as much. And absolutely you should buy the Michelin TWs. So those are my thoughts on the TWs. So if you want to stop watching there, knock yourself out. If you want to stick around for the review, I welcome you to stick around. So the Z920. This is John Deere's second in the line of commercial zero turns. The 915E, Z915E is the low spec one, the base model, and this is the one just above that. I opted to get the 920. Like I said, because of able to get the TWs, but most importantly because of this Kawasaki engine. Yes, this Kawasaki engine is rated for 23.5 horsepower compared to 25 horsepower like the Kohler on the 915. However, I have seen many Kawasaki engines get a lot of very good life out of them with proper care, and I have seen Kohlers that have not a whole lot of time on them that start smoking pretty badly at startup and everything, and I knew the Kawasaki engine would be better suited for my needs. And I've got a Kawasaki engine on my 14SB, and it's been great. It's a 27-year-old mower, and that engine is 100% flawless. So that's the biggest reason why I got the 920 over the 915 was for that Kawasaki engine. So the cut quality on this thing, I'll have a video coming out on the 7-iron Pro, but I'll actually just include it here. I was going to have a separate video coming out, but I'll just include it here. Cut quality is amazing. The ease of access for maintenance is amazing. You've got one reservoir here for your pumps, and you got this little divot where you're able to check the hydraulic fluid extremely easily. These are tough torque pumps, so they're not, Hydro Gear or Parker or anything like that. They're not super good, but they're not horrible pumps either. I'm very happy with them. They're fast enough for what I'm doing. They're powerful enough, and you take good care of them. They won't give me any problems. So here's a good view of, you know, under here you got these two grates for allowing not so much grass to get down into the pumps and into the fans. There is still grass that gets down in there, as you guys can see, but I'm trying to be good and keeping this thing really clean, you know, blow it off after every use or whatnot, so I don't have to worry about having a really dirty mower. But this is nice. I like the fact that this is one reservoir for both pumps, so that's really neat. Here's the battery for that thing. I thought it'd be a little bigger, but that's okay. And then this big spring over here is actually used to help raise and lower the deck. On the seat, comfort-wise, in the seat, this seat is incredible. This is not the suspension seat, it is just the standard seat. But the deluxe seat, which is what this is called, it's still really incredibly comfortable. You guys can see I'm starting to get an imprint there from when I've been using this thing. Only thing about the yellow that I don't like is that it does show dirt. But, I mean, it's a mower, it's not a Ferrari, you know, you're not going to have it 100% perfect. The nice thing about the yellow is that compared to like a black seat or whatever, it doesn't, you know, burn you when you get on it when it's sitting in the sun. Let's see, moving on to the mower deck, we'll go back to that. You guys know that I put this ACS Advanced Chute System on here. I got this from a company online called Ballard Industries. They're a landscaping type supplies place. And they've adapted this from the bad boy mowers to be able to fit any mower. You got the lever there you pull up. It's got these holes in it to allow airflow, and it's a nice chute blocker. You know, it's pretty stout, built well, and it does the job pretty well. It does shoot some grass out. It's not 100% perfect seal, and it does blow a lot of grass back onto you. But you know, it's a nice chute blocker. It does everything I need it to do. The mower deck stripes and cuts beautifully. 100% beautifully. The only thing about it is that when you're cutting really tall wispy stuff, like weeds or whatever, it will leave some stragglers, and I have never sharpened these blades. This is how they came from the factory, and they're not razor sharp. I mean, they could use a little bit of sharpening, and I think that'll solve that problem, because I keep my blades, I mean, you could shave with my blades, I keep them so sharp normally. But the 7-iron Pro deck, compared to the 7-iron 2 that's on the Z920M, there's really not a huge difference other than this step that's been welded on, which is really nice, and some extra guards, and the 7-iron Pro has the rear gauge wheels. It's just a little higher quality. The striping is incredible, especially for the double cut stripe. It's really incredible. In my area, this deck works extremely well. It does very well in wet grass. It will, you know, suck a lot of grass up and get stuck under the middle part of the deck right here. But, you know, you just keep it scraped out. It's not that big of a deal. I go under about once a week or once every 2 weeks, depending on the conditions I'm mowing in, and I'll scrape the deck out. Alright, moving on to the operator area. So you guys know, you see they have this step right here to be able to get up, like most zero turns. So you step on up and get onto your nice seat. This thing does have adjustable armrests. You turn the knob. I have had to crank mine up quite a bit because I like mine to be pretty high. This is not the fuel injected version Kawasaki makes. This is the FX730V, top of the line engine that they make, 23.5 horsepower. This is not the fuel injected version. I told my dealership when I called them to order this mower that I did not want the fuel injected version. I wanted the carbureted version simply for the ease of maintenance and simplicity. And you guys know I drive a car with a carburetor on it, so I like carburetors. So you got your key switch here, you got your little computer screen, shows you diagnostic information, and, you know, oil pressure, when to service it, all that kind of stuff, or if there's a problem. Here's your diagnostic codes. It's a little dirty, but there's your codes if you can't start it, your codes if you're having a problem, and then Spanish, you know, if you speak that language. Your throttle here, which is nice. There is a blank, as you guys can see the indentation right there. To be able to there's a blank to put a switch here if you want to mount lights on it. I'm not going to do that. I did mount a beacon light on here, which this turns on as soon as you turn the key on. It starts flashing. John Deere has gone away from their pole type, their plunger type switch for their PTO switch, and they've gone to a rocker switch, which I really like. And this mower, I started out originally just engaging the PTO at half throttle, flipping the switch and then revving it up. I started having problems with my clutch. When I turned the blades off, it would squeak to a stop. The clutch would squeak pretty badly. So I went to my dealership, talked to one of the mechanics that I know back there pretty well, and he was saying these mowers are actually designed to run full throttle all the time. So he said just crank it up, hit the blades, it'll do its thing, don't worry about it, you know, you're overthinking it. So that was nice to know, and I've started running it full throttle on and off, and the squeak has gone away. So if you got one of these mowers, run it full throttle. That's how they're designed to run. Now if you guys remember from my Exmark video, over here was their system of holes and the pin to be able to raise and lower the deck. On the John Deere, your parking brake is here. So it's got an automotive style parking brake. Lift up, push the button, and drop it down. It's very nice, very convenient. Some of the more deluxe John Deeres have that foot controlled parking brake that goes in this hole. I don't really like that thing. It's awkward and weird to use. I like the lever better. Just pull it up and engages, you're good to go. But that system where you change the deck height, like on the Exmark and the Ferris and all these other brands of mowers, you know, I think it's kind of cumbersome. I think John Deere has really dominated when it comes to how to adjust the deck height. So you've got this knob right here, and you've got your foot pedal. This one's a manual deck lift, like the rest, every other zero turn, it has a foot pedal. But what you do is you raise this up here, and you've got this knob on the top to be able to unlock the deck. And I've got it set at 3 1/4 for my yards that I normally cut. But then say you want to either double cut it a little higher, or you want to set the deck a little lower to do a, you know, if you're cutting really high grass, all you have to do is take a little bit of weight off the deck and just spin this dial to whatever height you're looking at getting it up to 5.5 inches, or all the way down to 1 inch. So this here, I mean, look how quickly I'm able to adjust. I mean, here's 5.5 inches. 4.5 inches, 3.5 inches, 2.5 inches. I mean, this thing here it's so fast and efficient as far as adjusting the deck. It's spectacular. I cannot imagine a better system on the market to be able to raise and lower and change the height on your mower deck. This knob right here is amazing. So that's that there. That's one feature I really like of this thing is that knob. The handles, these are not the fancy deluxe handles with the buttons on it that they offer on some of their Z900R models. Because I grab down here, I grab the bar down here to use it. And with those fancy handles, you know, you have to grab it up here. So I just wanted the standard ones. Plus that's what it was available on the M series. The controls here, since I'm on the topic of the controls, they do lock whenever you have your parking brake set. So that's a nice feature. So when you're sitting up here and you pull your controls in, you can't move them when you have your parking brake set. So you disengage your parking brake, pull your lap bars in, and you guys can see I'm putting no effort into moving these bars. And you know, the Exmark video that I put out on my thoughts on Exmark and why I chose a John Deere, I told you that these lap bars on the Exmark were a lot harder to move than they are on the John Deere. And I've noticed that running this mower for an extended period of time, that those bars there, I mean, they're like second nature. I love them so much. They're silky smooth. So, props to John Deere. You guys did a good job on those. You guys can see that I did put this mat down here. I've run these mowers without this mat and this plate down here, which you can lift up to look at your mower deck and everything. You know, it jiggles around and everything, and this just gives an extra level of comfort. This was an option. I bought this separate. You know, this does not come with the mower, so you guys don't have to get that with the mower. But I will just say that if you are looking for extreme comfort and that's your goal, that, you know, this is a good option, is having this mat on this floor pan. Last thing I'll touch is the frame and the stoutness of it. You guys can see all this is cast iron. The foot pedal is cast. A lot of the deck lifting linkages are cast. The front casters are cast iron. And this frame is extremely robust. It's built extremely well. All the zero turns except for the 997 have the cast iron frame. The 997 uses a bigger style frame, and they use steel for that. So I'm extremely pleased with the cast iron. Is there a huge benefit from the cast iron over, say, welded steel, box steel? I don't see a huge benefit. I will simply say that I think that this cast iron will have more rigidity to it, but I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys here. That's what I like doing. And, you know, I don't see a huge benefit of the cast iron over the steel. Either one would be very rigid and robust. The one thing I don't like about it, though, and this is with anything. You guys see this right here? Yep, that's where this frame was made. So, wherever they're making it, they're doing a very good job, because you can see it's all powder coated. The castings are not crude at all. They're extremely smooth. You know, this is one thing that, you know, they did a good job building that frame, but I'm not a fan of that. You know, they build these things in North Carolina. The commercial turf and the gators, they come out of North Carolina. And the engine, ironically, the Japanese engine was made in America, but the American frame was not made in America. So it's kind of twisted. Is it a deal breaker? No. It's impossible to find any piece of equipment that is made solely in America. It's very difficult to do. It is what it is. Fuel consumption on this thing, it is a bit thirsty. It has an 11-gallon fuel tank. I can run all day on about half to a quarter tank, depending on what kind of grass I'm cutting. It's a bit thirsty. It is what it is. I'm not complaining too much about that. You know, I am able to cut a lot of grass with this thing. So we're up at the 16-minute mark now, guys. If you see any areas that I may have left out, let me know. I'll be able to go over it again. I'll happily go over anything on this mower again. It's definitely not going anywhere. I'm going to be running this thing for quite some time. Overall, I love this mower. It's a fantastic machine. I have no regrets at all getting the one that I got. I don't wish it had any more power or anything. I'm super happy with it. Michelin Tweels are excellent. They really do improve the ride, and ease of maintenance is very easy with those things. So, big thumbs up to John Deere. You guys did a really good job on this mower. You have another happy customer. As you guys can tell, I mean, I have John Deere stuff everywhere. But anyway, guys, I do appreciate you watching this. Hope you guys like the 920 just as much as I do. I will have some more mowing videos in the future. I'm not exactly sure when. I'm going out mowing all day today, but I'm not going to be filming. I need to get the yards done. So, anyway, guys, that's my review on the Z920. It's a very good mower. I appreciate you watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Just real quick, guys, I wanted to tack this on the end of this video, so if you're still watching, I appreciate it. This is the one job I did out of my neighborhood with the Z920. Got all my equipment out here. And I was saying it stripes really well. This is a double cut, but as you guys can see, this mower does extremely well with the cut quality of its yards. So this is, I just wanted to tack this on to the end. Appreciate you guys watching. If you like some stripes, there's some stripes for you. Looking real good. Alright guys, I'm off to do the next one. I'll see y'all in the future.